dive in, see what's going on MSN News. See what's going on. We got. Oh, I'm gonna butcher his name. I don't know who this guy is, but he's a soccer player. Mbappe, Mbappe, breaks 64-year-old record with a strike against Greece. Now, I know the guy's face. I know he plays soccer. I butchered his name, but you can look him up. I just spelled his name for you, Mbappe. If you're a real soccer fan, then you won't even need me for that, but it is what it is. Hands down the laziest ways people are making extra cash. I have no idea. Cash App. And I'm joking. Speaking of which, I do have a Cash App if anybody wants to donate to my coffee fund. Where to... I believe I put online my email address. We're going to start with filters first. Alright. You can email me at thelazyboyqb. Alright. Spelled as is at gmail.com. If you got any topics you want me to touch on, or if you want to send me some money through Cash App, you know what I'm saying? I ain't too proud to ask. I am too proud to beg, but I ain't too proud to ask for people to donate to my coffee fund. Alright. Now, it says where to stay in Mexico City, the 8 best neighborhoods. Speaking of which, there were some people found in a hotel room in Mexico. They said it was something like carbon monoxide or something in the room. The guy was found in a shower, and the girl was found in a bed. That is scary as hell. You know what I'm saying? Personally, I mean, it sounds a little fishy as well. We got Paul Feinbaum predicts major conference will collapse by 2026, which is another funny thing. I was like going through some porn searches. That's another thing that I do, considering that I'm a born again virgin, but I have a high sex drive. Alright. And I seen this guy that looked like Paul Feinbaum or whatever. But you know what? People have twins everywhere. But it could have been him too. Who knows? The Lakers' 5 biggest NBA draft busts in franchise history. They got these guys pictured, and I don't know one of these guys' names, so I'm going to just keep it moving. But I'm sure if you Google worst Lakers drafts, I'm sure they'll come up. NASA's Juno mission spots eerie green light on Jupiter. Here's what scientists think it is. You know what I love about these articles and stuff? These they only give you enough to make you want to click on it or form your own conclusion. They never tell you exactly what they're going to do. You know what I'm saying? I really don't like that because I'd never have the time to search. Sometimes I do, but very rarely will I click on one of these articles to dig a little bit deeper, and usually it's only like a couple minutes. Slave codes used to dictate what enslaved people could or couldn't wear. Slave codes. Well, I mean, it makes sense. It's no different than the prison system. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can only wear this, you can only wear that. It's the same scenario, just wrapped up in a different box. World Series of Poker contestant accused of cheating after a heated argument during high rolls. I don't know how you could be cheating with all them cameras and stuff like that, or think that you're going to get away with cheating with all them people involved. But hey, people be having cheating down to a science. Mexican spiritual leader preserves the sacred knowledge of a volcano known as El Chapo Papo. Let's see what else. I'll be back on TV in the morning soon. Shannon Sharpe reveals he returning to sports TV. Which is good. Shannon Sharpe's been on TV for a minute, dude. I don't know why he's not still doing the show with Skip, except for I know they used to get heated a lot. Now, I don't really watch that much TV, to be honest with you, and when I do, normally it's like late at nights or after I get done with my daily duties. And now recently it's been just watching like old shows or shows that, whatever I find on Roku. Like I watch Coach. I've been watching that for a while, just off and on, little things. And that's not the only show that I watch. I watched a lot of shows. I watch a lot of shows over like these last, since I got the Roku, probably about 6 or 7 months ago. I've been watching a lot of shows that are no longer, I don't know what the word is, in syndication or whatever. So I end up running through these different shows, and until the seasons ends and stuff like that. And I went through a bunch of shows, like My Name is Earl. Watched that till it ran out. What a bunch of, and then another thing I do is I do like the trial. They be having like free trials on your Roku, like the Apple TV, a free trial, AMC Plus free trial, this, that, whatever, they do free trials. So I do them free trials and do those shows. Very rarely do I not finish watching the shows. Like I watched the Godfather of Harlem, watched that, watched all of that, watched all of Atlanta. I watched, and I'm bringing these up because I just said a bunch of shows that didn't have, and I use the term loosely, African American as the stars of the show. Alright, but I watch everything. Regardless, I feel like you can learn from everybody, no matter what their pigment is. But that's life. After I get through watching, it's like right now I'm watching Dr. Ken. That's a show that I'm watching right now that I haven't made it through yet. That I watch at least one episode of it, and that's an Asian family. Watch that. My guy Matthew Perry, he has a show that I'm watching right now. Go On or something like that. And at the end of the evening, after I take a shower, I'll jump into bed and then I'll watch a little bit of some stuff on Pluto TV on my phone. I watched something on there last night, and I usually watch like the old stuff. Like last night I flipped from 21 Jump Street. I started at 21 Jump Street. This is like 2 o'clock in the morning or 1 o'clock in the morning, right? 1:30, something like that. I started with 21 Jump Street. It didn't catch my attention, right off the rip. So I went to the Carol Barnett show, watched a little bit of that, watched like a skit on there. I watched Three's Company one night. I tried to watch the Flip Wilson, but it was on commercial. In my attention span at that time of night, I'm trying to catch something right then and there. You know what I'm saying? So I finally flipped to Happy Days. All right, and when I was younger, when I was a kid, in the morning time, they used to have these shows on regular TV, like these older shows and stuff. 30 minutes here, like Happy Days was one. These other little shows, like during the day, like if I was home, didn't go to school or whatever, they would always have like something during the day that they would play. Family Ties, things of that nature. But Happy Days was on last night, and I got to thinking, probably because it was like late at night, you know what I'm saying, and I'm only thinking about a few things late at night, to be honest with you. Especially if I'm not having a drink or didn't smoke or whatever, whatever it may be. Usually I'm thinking about my demise, which I hate thinking about that, but when I have time on my hand and my mind starts to wander, I think about my demise and like how long do I have, to live my life. And I would really like to live my life for real, the way I envision, before my demise. And two, I was looking at Happy Days, and I was like just noticing that the mom, Miriam, I believe her name is, she's kind of thick, and it was like, I'm like, am I tripping, or is she kind of thick? Granted, her clothes, the clothes back then, it was, they're fully clothed, so you don't really see too much. But I know a thick woman when I see one. You know what I'm saying? And then they ended up. It's funny because I've never seen an episode where they was dealing with drug issues. All right, this episode, it was a drug issue. Joni, which is the daughter, Richie Cunningham's sister. You know what I'm saying? She was a teacher. At this point in time, she's a teacher, and she's trying to teach this kid. And this kid's like 15, and she's popping pills. So the parents, the dad, Miriam, and Joni go over to the kid's house to talk to the parents. And then the mom answered the door of the kid who was popping pills. And I looked at her, and then I looked at Miriam, and I was like, yeah, I ain't tripping. Miriam's thick than a mug.